Hi, my name's Matt and I've been at Enjoy for about 11 years now.
And my name's Angie. I've been part of Enjoy for 15 years now.
And we're both part of the creative team, worship leading and singing.
And I'm part of the events team as well. We met in the creative team, so we would travel to the different locations and both being part of the worship team, we would be sent to all the new locations. And that's how I met Matt, through worship. So we started dating in 2013, got married in 2015, and we had Elena, our beautiful baby girl, in 2019.
Having a family at home has always been something that's been in our hearts. And
we had always wanted to have something that was our own. And we started looking before we got married, and it just seemed impossible. 6 years we've been trying. There's definitely seasons, ups and downs, where we thought it was never going to happen.
From interest rates going up, so it sort of knocked us out in terms of borrowing power, or when we had Elena, like the banks don't like it when you have kids, like in terms of borrowing money. So
yeah. Disappointments, lots of tears, if we're being honest.
Yeah. So it literally went from like we can do this to we can't do this.
Yeah. And we always held on to that promise that if we build God's house, God will build our house. So we've been very intentional with our time, always putting God first and serving first. And in every season when we had Elena, yes, people were buying houses and building houses around us, and it was hard. It was very hard because it felt like there was a season where all of a sudden everyone was buying houses. I felt like we were like a little bit further along the journey, and it almost felt like, is our time done? Like, is this just what our life is going to be like? But just kind of holding on to that thought that He's the God of abundance and there's always more than enough for everyone. We were at a crossroads where we could choose whether we settled with where we were at, or do we push on and believe what God had promised for us. And that was around the time of Easter when the cross went up and we put our prayer requests on the red envelopes.
We'd actually had a massive argument because we'd sort of got to the point where we decided we'll close the house buying book. But I was still looking, and we went to look at a house, and then it was that whole thing where I was like, it'll do. And Angie was like, it's not good enough. So we had this big argument, and it was kind of like, I thought we'd done looking at houses and whatever. And I actually said to Angie, I'm like, forget it. Just write one of those slips and put it on the cross, will you? Like, for a house.
Yeah. So we wrote on that red slip, it went up on the cross. And that following weekend, we found this house. We had a look at it. We put a deposit on it. 3 months from when we put the prayer request up on the cross to moving in was 3 months. And that was crazy. Like, we can only say that was God.
If it's just like you're not seeing the breakthrough yet, just keep trusting God.
Keep trusting God, keep putting Him first in every area, and just trust that He is faithful to His word, because He is. We've seen the fruit of it over and over. And we're not the only ones that have an amazing story. We're not the only ones that can tell of God's goodness. And look for people that have stories, that have the fruit in their life, and hold on to that. Look for hope in other people's stories, because God is always moving.